correctly on everything I was hearing Coach say yesterday during the scouting report analysis. Tomorrow you get to paint a masterpiece, and you get to paint that masterpiece because of how mentally tough you will play. Let's just explore the idea of being mentally tough for the 5 minutes that I get on this podium here. All right, mentally, having to do with your mind. Tough, having to do with not bending, not breaking, being the same all the time. To be mentally tough means that you keep your mind tight, tough, the same, doesn't change. My first prop, teaching aid, to demonstrate toughness. Okay? Here's something you're all familiar with. Little 45-pound plate. This is a pretty tough thing. I can drop it from the 6th floor of the library, it's not going to break. I can leave it out in the freezing cold, it's not going to crack. I can leave it out in the hottest day of summer, it's not going to melt, it's not going to change, it stays the same, it's tough. You can all handle that concept, right? Now, you notice that it did not break. Your mind's got to be the same way. Regardless of the heat, the cold, the pressure, the pounding, the situation, the context, the circumstance, your mind stays the same. Now think about your mind. It's this tool, this process, this organ, this ability that allows you to interpret the world, perceive the world, make decisions about what you're going to do, and then act. You're only going to perceive one way, you're only going to make decisions about one way, you're only going to act one way. Mentally tough, right? You're only going to perceive out there, play by play, minute by minute, opportunity. Opportunity. Here's our opportunity to get the face-off, get a possession, get a score. Here's our opportunity to shut down their offense when the ball's in our defensive end, turn it over, get the ball over the midfield, get a possession, score. Our extra man goes out, it's an opportunity to score. Our man down goes out, it's an opportunity to shut them down. Everything is an opportunity, everything's an opportunity, everything's an opportunity. Your mind is tight on that, regardless of circumstance, score, situation, time, whatever. Got it? Second point, the decisions you make. Okay? You make a decision, minute by minute, every play, every possession, every situation. We're going to dominate. I'm going to dominate. I get this. I decide on that. And then your action is sense and react, look and do. That's the only way you do it. So your mind is extremely limited. Your mind is extremely tight. You're going to see the world a certain way. Everything's an opportunity. You're going to decide, we're going to dominate right now. And you're going to act. Sense, react, look and do, unconscious, automatic. Your mind is tight. It's limited. You could say that your mind is extremely, and I'm going to use this word as a compliment. You're going to be a stubborn bunch of bastards. Stubborn. How many of you have read the American Sniper book? Anybody? A couple? Yeah, a bunch of you. I'm sure some of you have seen the movie too. I just finished the book. The part about the book that I was really most impressed with was his descriptions of going through the SEAL training experience. And he said, like Coach, it's all about mental toughness. And his understanding of mental toughness was simply being stubborn. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm not going to give up what I have to do. He describes, lying in the cold surf, freezing his nuts off, and he's just too stubborn to get up, walk up the shore, ring the bell, get the nice hot cup of coffee and the donut, and then his SEAL ordeal. He's just too stubborn. I want you to think of being stubborn in the good sense of the word. I doubt anybody has ever gone up to you and said, hey, I really like you, you're smart, and you're funny, and you got a great lacrosse IQ, and you're stubborn as hell. But think about stubborn as being a good thing. You're only going to be one way. That's what being mentally tough is. That brings me to my second and last prop for the day. Fairly stubborn item in its own right. This is what you think it is. This is not a cheap Hong Kong made in imitation. Hold that for me. This is the real deal. 400 years old. Still pretty damn sharp. Seen some action. Don't know the name of all the people that it has met. Okay? To last 400 years and look this good, you gotta be damn stubborn. Alright? These things are made by a process that they don't have anymore in the world. Only certain raw material, certain iron ore, gets forged into the steel. And then that block of steel is shaped by a very complicated process, which I'd be happy to describe in some length at some later time. And then they take clay and they cover 3/4 of the blade, leaving just the cutting edge exposed, and that goes back into the heat. And so now you've got this incredibly hard cutting edge, backed by a somewhat more resilient spine. So it can take a lot of punishment, yet when the time comes, the cutting stroke is delivered. It's a nice metaphor for you guys. You can take a lot of punishment. You can take a lot of heat. But you cut when the time is right. Because you're stubborn. That's my message for you guys today. Be stubborn. Be a blade. Paint a masterpiece. Eat and smile. I love you. Let's go.